Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, your old pal Mike. There we go. Oh, finally getting a breeze here in the shed. I had the door wide open, I wasn't gonna breeze. I angled the door halfway, so now I'm getting a bit of a breeze. It was very warm and humid today, so uh, it's not too bad actually in the shed. It's cooler than I thought it would be, but yeah, I even got the little bug thing going. Keep the bugs kind of to a minimum. Hopefully that works. It seems to work, that thing. Well, with mosquitoes anyway. I don't know about other bugs, but plus I got it. So my next door neighbor's dog comes out and barks because he doesn't like me and I don't like him, which is rare because I'm really good with dogs and everything. But I can give him one of these. Just kidding, just kidding. This is my protection in the shed here. My little machete I got it at Lowe's. I think I got it. But anyway, not much going on today, although I had a lot of thoughts going on today. I listened to an audiobook. I've been listening to it for about a day and a half. And I finished it up today at work, and then this is I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, there you go. It's an audiobook. I finished it. And it was pretty interesting. Nihilism is something I got into way back in 2004 maybe, like really got into it. But I know about it like in high school and stuff, but I didn't really I really gave a shit back then. But when I got older and I just got into nihilism a bit, and it kind of shook me a bit. And even back then, because I saw a documentary on time, end theory, multiverse thing, and it shook my philosophical mind to the core. And I'm still wrapping my head around that because I'm not a big fan of the meaninglessness of the universe or life or whatever you want to call it. And tonight, I was thinking about it all day because I finished the book or audiobook, whatever you want to call it. It was more of a lecture. It's like 4 hours or whatever. And it was actually surprisingly more engaging than I thought it would be. So I highly recommend it. If you got a credit to burn, burn it on that if you're into philosophy and nihilism. If not, don't waste your credit on that. But it was pretty decent. Yeah, it hit me a little bit hard again. Because nihilism, every time I go down nihilism and existentialism and like even science as well, it gets pretty bleak and dark because I don't know. I feel like it's probably the most right out of the philosophies. Like there is no meaning to life, but you might as well. There's some of the philosophers. I can't remember their name. They even mentioned this in the book that like they knew nihilism. They accepted the nihilism. They knew there was no meaninglessness to it, but they accept the comfort of their day to day and traditions and stuff because it's better than the bleakness of thinking this is no point to this. I struggle with it anyway. The nihilistic side, as I said before in one of the videos recently, I struggle with my stoicism and my nihilism. Kind of battle it out a little bit. They can kind of coexist, I think, to a degree. Because both in one aspect of it is like taking the emotion out of things, and stoicism doesn't eliminate the emotions. I mean, nihilism just makes you depressed and kind of takes your soul and your emotion or whatever you want to call it, that whatever makes you the id, makes you, kind of, it deflates you. Stoicism, it just checks your emotions, right? It's not like you're not emotionless or you're soulless or whatever you want to call it, so to speak. So I was conflicted with that, and I was even trying to think of like with the multiverse thing and with nihilism. I even went into this trippy thing with. I was floating around in the pool floaty, and I was thinking of all right. multiverse, and there's no meaning in the universe, and it's all whatever. And I'm thinking, well, if the universe has us, and we're conscious enough to recognize things and reflect things and kind of give it some sort of purpose, I think to myself, well, that's kind of, maybe like the nihilists that they kind of come with this theory that it's all meaningless anyway, blah blah blah. The universe is empty and soulless, but in a way, I'm just kind of paraphrasing, or not paraphrasing, but just giving my own words. It's not exactly what it means, but and I started thinking, I was floating in the pool. I'm like, well, what if there are other sentient life forms out there like us that can ponder and contemplate the universe? It's kind of ignorant to think that. Well, I was thinking, thinking outside the box is that, like, all right, if we're around and they're around, then doesn't that give the universe purpose and, well, not purpose, but meaning that there are beings that are alive that kind of can give it purpose? I don't know. That's where my mind was going in the pool at about 6 o'clock tonight. That's as I was floating around. Weird crap was happening. So, yeah. One of the weird trips that I take sometimes. So, not that this is too deep of a video here, but I was just thinking those crazy thoughts. So, it was a good day overall. Thankfully, tomorrow's Friday, so I can relax. Probably do a review this weekend on this rum, which I'm not really a rum drinker because it leads to trouble every time I do rum. So I'll probably do a taste test and kind of give you my thoughts on that. It's a Rhode Island distilled rum. So yeah, I'll probably do that this weekend. A video, do another coffee chat. That was pretty fun. It's supposed to be rainy this weekend too, so that'll be interesting. We got the moths are up there. That's always fun. Yeah, so that was the deep thought of the day, I guess. The deep thoughts, if you will. Yeah, I remember watching a documentary. I think it was around. I had to guess 2006, 7, or 5, around there, and it was on time, which is another fascinating topic I'd like to discuss at some point. It had Dr. Michio Kaku, and they were talking about time and then M theory and all that stuff, and my world flipped upside down because it was heavy stuff. It took me to a weird place. I never really recovered from that philosophically, and I don't want to say spiritually. I'm not a very spiritual person, but it kind of hit me. And then I got into that nihilistic attitude without even really getting into nihilism too much. As like I said, I dove into it, kind of get the crash course of it, and today that audiobook or lecture gave me a new insight into it and different perspectives of it, and not that bleak, that the one-liner type thing of it's meaningless, blah blah blah. It went a little deeper with the people that came up with nihilism, so it was very interesting. But time is another fascinating subject with me, and I'll discuss it at some point on this channel. Very good. No, thought I had. Is there something on? You got the shadow. I don't know. It looks like on camera. It looks like I have something, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think there's a spot on the screen. Oh well, who cares? It's meaningless. It doesn't matter, right? Ah. So yeah, that was that documentary had a profound effect on me back then. I'll just mention this. A friend of mine, she does a serial killing podcast. I'll leave the link in the description below. She reached out to me today because she's doing an episode on Craig Price, who was a serial killer in Rhode Island when I was growing up. Back in, I think the first killing was 87, but they didn't catch him until 89. And at that time, I was just getting into true crime as a kid. I was around, well, I'd be 11, 12, 13, around there. I started getting into that stuff. And that was a case that happened. So she got in touch with me to ask me some questions about Rhode Island and how Rhode Island is or was at the time and stuff like that. So that was an interesting case. I remember that one. And then, of course, the New Bedford highway killings, which is something I will talk about on this channel because it's kind of my the one that's always that's the one that really put things on the map with me with serial killers, because I got so curious with that case and it hit home for a lot of reasons. But I'll get into that someday. I don't know when, but. Wow, this is kind of a bleak episode for my channel so far, huh? I mean, most of them have been pretty decent videos, like, kind of, okay, like, positive-wise. I mean, I don't know about the quality or the content, but they haven't been dark, as, you know, we got into nihilism a little bit tonight, now serial killers, wacky times, but, yeah, Rhode Island and New England's had some interesting killers, to say the least, so I'll get into that at some point. I don't know when, but I will. So apparently we got a storm coming up, so probably be cooler. I guess it's a tropical storm. I don't know. I haven't watched the news or anything. I've watched the phone a little bit. When I've gone in the pool, I've kind of had my phone nearby so I could keep an eye on the radar. Because we had a storm yesterday, but it broke up around, so it wasn't a big deal. But I haven't really paid attention to any of that. Very good. I'm smoking the Sunday, ice cream Sunday tobacco again. Good stuff. I can't get enough of it. It's not on Cigars and Pipes, or Pipes and Cigars, or whatever it is.com. There's other stuff like it, but it's not that particular one, which kind of sucks for me. I should have bought bigger, but I didn't think I'd like it, and I liked it, and I forgot to go back and buy it. Kind of happens. So we'll see what this weekend brings. Gonna be a lot of storm. I got a little bit of ash and or tobacco on me and moss. I did bring the book, which I'm gonna go actually read in the house tonight because this is a little too warm in here. I brought it in last night to do some reading on the book that I got there on political analysis or whatever it was. Modern Man. I can't remember the title now. But I started reading it, but it was late because I finished this video and I kind of went, I edited, well, didn't edit, I just kind of posted it to the channel and then kind of went to bed, so to speak. I started reading and I was a little sleepy, so some of the stuff I'm going to have to go back and read again because I'm taking my time with it because I want to absorb as much as I can and stuff and write some notes as I go along. But I think that's going to do it for tonight. Not a fancy video, a little dark and bleak. My mindset's a little, I mean, I feel good because I talked to you guys here and I got that off my chest, the weirdness of nihilism and all that. So, I don't know. The question is, can a stoic be nihilistic and stoic at the same time, or nihilistic and stoic at the same time? I don't know. It's an interesting question. I'll have to think of that. I don't know. One of you big fancy philosopher guys, maybe, well, gals say, no, Mike, you can't do that, or, well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll break the mold. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, that's gonna do it. Nice little quiet moment for the both of us, or all of us, or just me, I guess, depending on how many people watch this. But that'll do it for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Let me know what you think of my thoughts there with nihilism and all that crazy stuff. I don't know. Maybe it sparks something in your mind to make you think of some stuff. I don't know. But in any case, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Be safe.